My name's Harry Moore, and I'm an associate broker with EXP Realty. And today we're going to look at what 3 of the big real estate sites have to say about the market in 2022. A few weeks ago, I looked at some national data and local data and talked about some thoughts that I have on the real estate market locally in 2022. If you'd like to see that video, you can click up here somewhere. Today, we'll take a look at some predictions from Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, and see what all they have to say. A bunch of their predictions didn't really have any numbers attached. They were more sort of talking about general trends, and there wasn't necessarily a ton of overlap, but there was some. First, let's start with a couple of key data points. Looking at their predictions for appreciation in 2022, Zillow came in on the high end at 11%. Redfin said 3%, and Realtor.com was at 2.9%. Given what happened to Zillow recently when they had to shut down their iBuying department because they lost $500 million, I think, they might be a little more conservative, but apparently not. Just to give you a little perspective, in the same article, Zillow predicted that the national number for 2021 would end up at about 19% appreciation. Now, they printed that at the sort of early part of December, so all the numbers weren't in for the year. I also wanted to share this chart, which shows predictions from Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the National Association of Realtors, and other people who track the national market. That group sort of averaged out just about 5%. Next up, what did they have to say about the increase in the number of sales for 2022? This time, Zillow sort of fell in the middle with an increase of 3.7%, while Redfin's number was 1%, and Realtor.com went out on a limb with a 6.6% increase. My question about that is, where are all those houses going to come from? Available inventory has been steadily shrinking all year, and in many parts of the country, the levels are at historic lows. Redfin predicts that there will be a 10-year high of over 7.6 million new listings this year. That would certainly provide some relief for the tired buyers out there. I thought this was sort of interesting. Zillow said that 2022 would be just short of record-breaking, while Redfin says we'll have a more balanced market with not a huge change, just slightly slower pace. So one sounds more dramatic, the other a little bit calmer, but in my mind, they're both kind of saying the same thing. Let's move on to new construction for a minute. Both Zillow and Redfin say that new construction is not going to make any dramatic strides in helping the inventory situation. The combination of labor shortages and supply chain issues will keep pushing prices up and keep the production numbers lower than needed for most of the year. While Zillow went out on a limb about price appreciation, Redfin made an interesting prediction about the condo market. They say that more and more home buyers are going to be open to buying a condo. That goes against the trend since the beginning of the pandemic. But if you take a step back and look further pre-pandemic, you'll see that high-density areas, what I like to call walk-to neighborhoods, were generally more active. Realtor.com, on the other hand, says the suburbs are still the place to be. With more work from home or hybrid work options available for many people, there's more flexibility about location. I'll give you an example from my business. I have a buyer client who they bought their first home, I guess it was probably 6 years ago or so. And during that search, they were very focused on being close to the metro because she worked downtown. Now, work is in flux, but it looks like it's going to be much more of a hybrid situation. They're looking to move up. Pre-pandemic, they were really interested in being close to the metro. Now, well, the doors are more open. They've got more flexibility. Next predictions, buyers are paying attention to secondary markets. Redfin mentions places like Columbus, Ohio, Indianapolis, and Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, while Zillow highlights places in the Sun Belt like Sarasota and Fort Myers. So there you go, some thoughts from the big 3 real estate portals. It's sort of a mixed bag, as I would have expected. It feels like Zillow and Redfin each went a little more out on a limb on a few things, whereas Realtor.com kind of stuck to the middle. What do you think about what's going to happen in the real estate market in the upcoming year? 2021 was certainly a surprising year for the real estate business. The consensus seems to be that this year is going to be calmer, but we'll just have to wait and see. If you'd like to see a video that I published recently about how to get started with the home buying process, click over here. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel so you can get updates whenever new videos come out, click over there. Take care and stay safe.